Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is FullQ Developer, and today we're talking about how to build your iOS app for the App Store and TestFlight from the command line. We've been making a to-do app, and today we're going to try to get it onto TestFlight. Automation is a passion of mine. I really don't like clicking through the Xcode interface to build an app. I find that very tedious. I much prefer to just type one thing and have it all just go, so I can spend my time doing something else. So on the left here, as I was tooting out on Mastodon and in the Discord earlier today, this is the basic 3 commands that we need to get our app to the App Store. Looks like I have like a comma or something here. And that's great. But you'll see there's a lot of variables here. So for the first one, we have the scheme, which is usually what's in here for the app. Actually, let's open the app. Yeah, so the name of the scheme for this app is just app, keeping it nice and simple. That way I can copy paste my configurations easier. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so that's the scheme. And as you can see, even to give a little bit of a preview of what's to come, you'll notice that this is Swift style interpolation, the backsplash, the back scoop, and the open banana. And also the archive path. This is where we want the archive to live. And after we archive the build, it's going to be at the archive path. Now we need to export the archive. And to be frank, I'm not really sure what that means. I'm not sure why these are 2 steps, but they are. So I guess whereas archive is just a command to Xcode build, export archive is like an option to Xcode build. This is what Steve Jobs would have wanted for sure. A little bit of sarcasm there. And again, we pass in the archive path, so it knows where to look. We also pass in the where to export it. So I call that the export archive path. And that's a directory, actually. It's not the actual full name of the path, if I remember correctly. And then there's export options, which is a plist. And that can be static, or we can maybe generate it as part of our script. And lastly, we upload it to the App Store. Because this is just for iOS, we say that I guess T is for platform here. We upload the app to iOS. AL tool stands for App Loader Tool. Again, exactly what Steve Jobs would have wanted. And we say the directory that we exported to, and then we say the scheme name. I'm pretty sure this is the scheme name from up here, .ipa, or I think it's for iPhone app or iPhone archive. I'm not exactly sure. And then we have to pass in some credentials to upload to the App Store. And there's many different ways to do that. You can do username and password. But the way that I like to do it is the API key and the API issuer. And you can get these from your own App Store Connect. You log in and you find your API key ID. I think it's under people and then keys, if I remember correctly. And because these are sensitive, we're not exactly going to pass them in onto onto the command line. We don't want them to show up in the log. So we're going to use environment variables for that, which will make it a little bit harder to just copy paste and run again if we make a mistake. We don't want it in the logs. That's a security leak. Yeah, so with all those variables, with these really long commands, obviously we want to put these in some kind of one-click situation, or a script, if you will. And of course, my favorite way to do that is with SPX. And I guess we can bring up the website for SPX real quick. Will this get me there? Oh, I need to fix the capitalization. But the idea is that it's NPX for Swift. Like, this is how we can run. You can use this to run scripts written in Swift. And I've had a lot of success using this over the past few years, making it better and better slowly over the years. And you can install it with Homebrew, you can install it with Mint, or of course just manual. It's just some Swift code, and you can init it. And the one that it comes with by default is not that useful. I didn't even show the code here. I used to show the code in the README of the simple one, just to get folks started. Yeah, that's kind of the brief thing for what SPX does. So we have I'll show you on the command line. So here's the queue, the app we've been working on the past few episodes. Here's the app screenshots. Here's all the targets. Here's the brew file. Here's the README. And the SPX folder is right here. So if I say SPX, I think -L is for a list. It'll list all the executable targets in what's it called? This is so much easier in a let's open this up in Nova so you can see all the everything. So here's the what I just showed you. These files. Here's the SPX right there, and then in this package we have 1, 2, 3, 4 executable targets. You can see that SPX found them and offered them to us. We say SPX App Store. Currently that's a completely empty file, so we won't see anything at all. So it builds it and nothing happens, but we can go ahead and say print hello Twitch. And we can go ahead and run that again. Wait, did I save it? I think I did. Oh, yeah, we can say it came out hello, my wonderful spelling, hello Twitch. Yeah, so let's start making this script. So for starters, we'll just copy paste the first one on in. Hello Twitch, upload into the App Store. Let's just paste that on in, and we can use triple quotes to make it all one quoted string. So that might be the archive command. Now, of course, we need some a little bit of things here. So we need the scheme. Let's define that. The scheme is going to be, excuse me, app, of course. And the archive path, well, what should that be? We don't want to muddy up our folders too much. We come back to Nova. Like maybe we can make like an artifacts folder inside of this SPX folder, to put all the build artifacts. Um, we'll say let the archive path equals maybe something like spx slash artifacts slash, yeah, maybe just that. So now we have the string for this archive command. So let's run it. And to do that, there's another tool that I wrote named sh. And it runs commands. Cannot find sh in scope, so let's go ahead and import it. There we go. Now I know this is going to fail because I don't think this directory exists. So what we can do is we can create it. You can say make dir -p of the archive path. Something like that. And I believe this should successfully archive the app. Let's see what happens. So let's say SPX App Store, and that's going to run what we have so far. It's printing out a lot of stuff to the command line. Oh, we got a failure. What is the failure? Something is already open? Okay, yeah, Xcode can get a little weirded out when too many Xcodes are open. Let's try closing those and running it again. Oh, that wasn't it either, huh? No profiles for... Oh, it's trying to archive, and yeah, we I created the Xcode project with these values, and of course these don't exist for reals. So let's recreate the Xcode project, and I suppose that's a different video, huh? Let's kind of stay on target here. So we recreated the project with the stuff that's in the .env, which I'm going to try not to show on stream. But I just recreated it. Live coding is gonna live code, isn't it? Bundle identifier. That is a little weird. Okay, I guess what I was hoping to be a separate video is now going to be part of this video. Let me just check, move this off stream for 1 second, take a peek at it. Yeah, it looks right to me. So in this Xcode project, we have the main, which opens up the .env, gets all the keys out of it, and runs it. And what does that look like? We don't have anything hard coded in here, right? That's correct. Is this the wrong name? That's there. And what did I call it in the .env? Oh, thank you so much for the subscription, SPJPGRD. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Here's a heart. Live code is gonna live code. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna figure it out. Oh, it's because it's wrong in my .env. Oh wow. Okay. I thought my .env was the real stuff, but it is. It's not. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, so I guess the fix is to fix that real quick. Let's see. I go back up to one of my other apps. If I go to Haptic Studio, do I have real stuff in here? Oh look, I still have it called Swish in here. I think if I pull though, did I update that? Looks like I did. Yeah, I need to copy paste some stuff out of here real quick. Oh, this just has the sample also. Crap. Crappity crap. There are a few things that I need from my old files to make this work. And it's just environment variables, nothing too exciting. Let's see, I guess I can move this stuff all the way down off the stream. I can show you like what this looks like, what I'm doing here. I had org.my.org.test. So this is going to be the Q is the bundle identifier, if I remember correctly. Q tests. The Q UI tests and screenshots. And then I need to remember my development team. So yeah, I guess let me just hide the screen real quick. Let me do the hiding the screen. Thank you to all the supporters that are on there. I deeply appreciate it. And I'm just going to log into the App Store real quick and get my key. Hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. Do. Okay. So let's try this again. Let me unhide the screen. Okay, so let's try to run this script again. Here's the code in the top half of the screen. Here is the terminal in the bottom half of the screen. We could say SPX App Store, and it's going to run this stuff right here. And you can see that it outputs the commands to the terminal that it's running. So if this fails, we can just copy paste this out and run it straight away again. And we are still because I didn't rebuild the Xcode project. SPX Xcode proj will regenerate the Xcode project with the correct values this time. and it's building away. Hopefully it does a little bit better this time. And we're just waiting for this build to keep on building. Now this is a lot of stuff that it's spitting out to the terminal. It is kind of an eyesore. So maybe, we don't want it to go to the terminal. Until we get this to actually build, I'm fine with this being here. Oh, we got an error. Is this thing not building? Oh, we do have a little bit of build failure. That's interesting. Okay, let's take a peek. Let's Command B. Oh, I know why. Oh, I know exactly why. Because as we've been building the app, we've been making stuff in for the tests and for the previews. We've put them in debug mode. So now we're building in release mode. So a bunch of that stuff just isn't there. So if you see the build failure, it's saying this fixtures doesn't exist. Well, of course it doesn't exist because that's in debug only. So we should be excluding that from when we build it for the App Store for TestFlight. Let's go ahead and find that code and make sure it's excluded. So we can just hide this whole button from the App Store and only show this in debug mode. And then what was the other error? Something inside of the drop delegate. Let's take a peek in there. Delta string is unused. What exactly were we doing here? This was us trying to get drag and drop to work. And we ended up doing a completely different approach than using the drop delegate. So this is going to be for when we drag something into the app, which was going to be not quite right now. So maybe we want to leave this out. Senor Pantalone says, "Hi there. What sort of app did you make?" We're in the middle of making a to-do app. For today's episode, we're working on scripting this to go to the App Store. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Here's the basic steps for the commands that we would run to get this to the App Store, and we're in the middle of making a script for it. The script showed that we still have a build error or two when we're building for the App Store. Let's just comment this out for now, and let's go and build again. And the code that we're running again is here in Nova. This is the command here. Set the scheme to be app. We made an archive path. Just for fun, we're using sh here to run megdir-p. But of course, we could be using filemanager.default if we want. It's okay. And I'm not sure why the build is taking so long. It's usually pretty quick. There we go. Archive succeeded. Yeah, so this is kind of a lot to see. Every time we build, it's pretty messy. So what we can do is, instead of sending it to the terminal, we can send it to a file. And perhaps we'll call this, we'll make like a logs directory. Maybe we'll call this the archive.log. And of course, this doesn't exist yet, so we'll need to create that as well and make like maybe a variable, because we will have other logs in the future. So let's make the logs dir, I suppose. Something like that. And then we can do a substitution here. The archive.log in the logs dir. And let's make sure that that directory exists. So now when we run it, you can see it doesn't go out to this, to the, what's it called? Ooh, it doesn't go out to the terminal anymore. It goes to this file here, and we can take a peek at that log file. As it's going out, we can see that it's slowly growing. Oh, and this is maybe this is not the exact right thing that I had in mind. Archive path. Oh, looks like it's not sticking it in the artifacts directory, it's just sticking it right here. Let's call it by the scheme, shall we? Yeah, let's clean this out. Archive path. So why did it go to this thing? Was this something? There's nothing in artifacts. So maybe now there will be. I'm trying to do this live and not just copy paste a bunch of stuff. Oh, it's got an extra slash in it. That's weird. Oh, because I have a slash at the end here. Oh, okay. Okay, let's kill this. Let's kill this and rebuild it. Yeah, so we have our artifact directory, we have our logs directory. I don't know why we keep getting this documentation error. I'm not building documentation right now. Joanna says, yo, been a while. How are you? I'm doing great, Joannis. Thanks for stopping by. Hope your weekend's going well. Live coding is, oh man, it's still live coding. Even when I prep for it, something always slips my memory. I'm showing off how to build an app for the App Store from the command line, which of course is these 3 commands here, and we're turning that into a runnable script. There we go. Now we have app.archive that came out right here. Music is louder than your voice. Oh, really? That's Okay, we'll turn down even further. I thought I did a sound check, so thanks for telling me. Okay, I turned down the music a bit. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for the feedback. Yeah, in my headphones, my voice is way louder than the music. Like, I can I can hardly hear the music. Okay. So we have an app archive. So the next thing is to export this archive. So again, just like before, we can go ahead and copy paste this string in. This can be triple coded just like before, so it's a little bit easier to read. And this is going to be the export archive command. And let's see if that equals the triple quoted string. So what do we have here? We have the archive path. And I don't remember if we need to say the scheme. Let's try it. I know the export archive path is a directory. Which I think can just be this artifacts path. Oh, we should actually call this artifacts path, I guess, huh? And then we need the export options plist. Now this could be a constant. However, we can also generate this. And for here, I'm gonna cheat off myself. I'm gonna see what we did in previous scripts, because it's a plist, so we can use Codable to manage it. And let's see, where is it? This is the goes through each one, and then App Store. We have some extensions and stuff, and we have the export options path. And here's our export options. So we want to go ahead and just copy this over. Let's call this artifacts path. We're not doing multi-platform yet. We'll just go ahead and delete that. Now that we have export options, we can write them. Since this is a codable struct, we can just write this to disk, like so. And then we have the export options path right here. So let's go ahead and run that as well. ISH. Let's output this to the terminal till we get it working, and then we'll put it to a log file. So this will be the export archive command. I'll just go ahead and run that. So let's run the whole thing again. Oh, we got a few things missing. Export options. Okay, so yeah, we need to import so this shxe run library, this is this has the export options struct in it, and I can go ahead and show you that real quick. We go to my website, there's a link to it right here, Swift Wrapper on Xcode's command line tools. If we peek inside of there, we have the export options, which is all this right here. And you can see how we write it. We have a property list encoder, we encode itself, and then we write it to a path atomically. Very straightforward. Okay, so then we're also missing the Apple Team ID. So for this, I have that in a .env file here. Here's the sample. So I want to load that so that I don't have to hard code this into my script. If people download the code for my app, I want it to be super easy for them to just plug in their values and get going with the app. So let's go ahead and load the environment so we have this available to us. And there's a little library called .env that I believe was kind of extracted from the Vapor project to load an environment variable file. And we're going to go ahead and do that at the beginning of here as well. Maybe after we declare our constants, but before we kind of get going with the execution. And I'll need to import this as well. Import .env. And we can declare we can make an enum of all the environment variables that we care about, so we can ensure that they're there before we get going with the script. So we can make a file called maybe envars.swift. And for now, the only one we care about is the Apple team ID. Let's go ahead and define that. We'll say enum envar case Apple team ID. And we can give it a raw value for what's in the actual environment variable. It's Mesa case, I guess. If you look at the American landscape, I think these kind of look like mesas. Let's see. Images.google.com. Mesa Verde National Park. Sounds like that could be it. This is pictures of houses. What about the landscape? Mesa landscape. Yeah, something like this. Don't you think like especially this photo right here, like that's all caps underscore all caps. So I like to call this Mesa case. Other names I've heard is Screaming Snake case. I don't really like the idea of screaming snakes, but mesas are very pretty, so I like the idea of Mesa case. Cool. Yeah, so we have our envar, and over here I called it environment keys. Yeah, I'm going to yoink some of my own code here because it is a lot to repeat. But I can kind of read through what it says. Ensure present in environment. So we can pass in a reference to this .env library that we just imported. And we can read through all the lines. We can make sure that it's inside of the .env or inside of the process info, like if it's coming from outside. And then we can say this key was missing. Yeah, let's call it environment keys. And this one in our sample is Xcode Gen development team. Sure, that sounds great. So here we'll call it this. And let's rename this file also. We have a quick typo check. Oh, thank you so much. You are correct. Okay, so now that we have our Apple Team ID coming from our environment file, um, let's go ahead and get it. And where do we need it? We need it right here. So we can say this is environment keys dot apple team ID dot get, I believe, and this can throw. Joannis is asking, what are you building right now? This is a to-do app that we've been working on for the past 7 episodes. I want to get it onto TestFlight so I can start playing with it in my own hands. And I thought this would be a great time to show how a TestFlight script might look. So I guess specifically we're building a TestFlight script in SPX, but on a grander scale, we're building a to-do app. And on a grander scale above that, we are living a creative life, building apps that I want to see in the world. Let's see. So let's try running this again. Command K to clear the terminal. Up arrow so we don't have to retype SPX App Store, and then enter to run it. Oh, and we need to import Foundation, I guess, over here, because that's where localized error comes from. We need to say that this is a string, and oh, I didn't define a get function. We can make this case iterable. And what else are we doing? Oh yeah, this get function. Let's just steal it from myself. Oh, I don't have it in this one. Okay, so we can write it real quick. That's fine. We'll say this can throw, and it'll return a string. And we'll just get it out of the process info. I believe the way that the this .env library works is that when we read it in, it loads it into the environment. So I think this is all we need to do. We're about to find out though. Value of optional string must be unwrapped. Oh, okay. Yes, I guess we can guard. We can say guard let value equals this, otherwise throw. This will be self.raw value. Otherwise, just return the value. Cool. Well, I guess we have fixed our build errors for our script, and now we are running the archive for the app. For iOS, we have the archive path. We're logging it to this log file. We can go ahead and watch that log file grow. I think Nova reloads files automatically as they get written to. Yeah, you can see it's sort of slowly. Oh, wow, it's got a lot more coming in. And we have an error saying missing environment key, Xcode Gen development team. Is that true? Um, did I not load? Maybe I didn't load it correctly. I said .env.read. Maybe it's a load. Yeah, I'm not really using .env here, am I? I think I can just delete that. I think that's what those errors are. Yeah, so we're running the archive again, which is a little bit slow today. I'm not sure if it's because the computer is doing so much, or like why would this app that's we've been only working on for 8 episodes be a long build yet? Not really sure. We have 3 what's it called? It's just the SQLite wrapper and the SF symbols wrapper that we have. So I'm not sure why it's really slow right now. Archive not found at path. Okay, so I guess I misremembered the path that it's supposed to be. So archive passed. We didn't get any complaints about this. The complaint is that archive was not found at path here. So what's it supposed to be? I guess I'm gonna be cheating again because I have my little backup. I moved it out of the way. Yeah, I was like checking git tags and all. You can do all kinds of stuff with build scripts. You can get very carried away. So when we export archive for archive not found at, okay, so where are we? You can see here, I'm just creating the directories with filemanager.default instead of using the shell to run mkdir-p. Either way creates the directories. It's all good. It just says archive path. Not gonna lie, I'm a little confused about that. So here, what did I make archive path to be? Oh, it's the whole file name. Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's copy this over. Let's say the archive path name. That'll be the scheme. We're just doing a single platform for now. So then this becomes archive path. And this down here becomes archive path. Okay, I'm expecting this to work. We can also check the export path while we're checking paths, though. Export options path. Export archive path for platform. This was a function because I was doing multi-platform stuff. It's just artifact root because we don't have a platform directory. So that should be totally fine. Cool, so let's give this a go. Let's see, what can we talk about while that's running? Talk about how it's getting hot in the city. It is getting to be summer here. And my brain tends to overheat right at 79 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm like a computer CPU. If I get too hot, I feel like I can't think, and I really don't like that feeling. I like feeling like I know how to think. Export failed. No profiles for this was found. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I guess I need to download the profiles from the App Store. Okay, well that's unfortunate. That's gonna be it might be difficult to do on stream. Let's see what we can do. So I go to settings, and I guess let's put this over here just in case. Download manual profiles. Download manual profiles. I think that'll do it. We have a signing certificate, so I think that'll do it. And to save ourselves time, what we can do is we can just not run the archive command. We can just comment out that line. Couldn't find any iOS App Store provisioning files matching. I have a typo there? No, full queue developer, the queue. Automatic sign is disabled and unable to generate a profile. Didn't enable automatic signing. Oh, let pass. You can just pass this in then. I'm so glad I actually read the error message. So it says allow provisioning update. Let's go ahead and try that. And we got another error. What is all this jazz? Invalid option. No, dude, I just copied it from your error message. What do you mean? What do you mean, bad option? Oh, updates. The S is missing. Okay. Is there another one of these? I feel like there's two of these I usually pass in. Yeah, allow provisioning device registration, destination device. Yeah, I'm not building for a device here, so I think that's all I need. So let's try running this again. We have updates now. Export succeeded. Okay. Wow, I got really nervous there for a second. Did all this setup and we can't even build. But yeah, we can just pass this flag in. It was Xcode was actually helpful with its error message, and that's something to celebrate. So we have done archive. We can put a little green checkbox here. We can put a little green checkbox here. No? Or why the emojis aren't working right now, but we'll take care of that a different time, I guess. So this is done. We've done export archive. Here's the command right here. And then finally, we're going to upload up to the application store. And then, depending on how much time we have left, maybe we'll do even some cleanup. So just like the other ones, let's go ahead and copy paste this on Ian. And we can comment out archive so we don't have to waste time just waiting that to go again. Actually, before we do, Let's have the output go to a file again instead of a terminal. I'll put it to the logster and export archive.log. Okay, so now let's do the upload command. So again, AL tool stands for App Loader Tool. It's the command line version of an app called App Loader, which is kind of a GUI for uploading to the App Store. If you're pushing to the App Store from Xcode, I don't think you need it. But for doing it from the command line, at least this is how I've been doing it for the past several years. So let's save this as upload command. So we're saying AL tool upload the app. We're going to do just for iOS right now. And then we want to say the export archive path. You can see all this stuff right here in the artifacts. It's going to be artifact/scheme.ipa. It's going to be this file right here. And so that's the basics for uploading, and then we need some sort of credential, either a username and password, or as I like to do, the API key and issuer ID. Now again, you can find this for yourself when you log into your App Store Connect. You go to the People tab, and then you go to, I think, Keys, and then you can generate a key and also see your API issuer ID. And then what I do is I just stick those here in the environment, and I make sure not to check it in. If you want to use a username and password, you can store it in something like 1Password or LastPass. And at least what I do is I use sh1Password as sort of a wrapper around 1Password to get items out of a vault. Here's an example right here of getting like some key out of 1Password. But then you have to like sign in or like make yourself automatically sign into 1Password, which I don't know. I just feel like having a key that you download and have on your computer is just easier, especially for on stream. You can just run the command and have it upload. Cool. So let's add these to the environment keys that we're interested in. So this is the API API issuer ID, I guess. Or let's just call it what we called it in Mesa case. I guess App Store Connect is all one word for in this case, huh? App Store Connect issuer ID. We also have the API key ID. Let's do a little bit of copy pasting here to save a few keystrokes. This is going to be API key ID. And with this, we should be able to just upload to the App Store. So let's, yeah, so I don't want these to leak to the command line. So I don't need to put these in here directly. So what I can do is, as usual, I can say, sh to the terminal, and we can run the upload command. But now I can also pass in an environment to this environment. can say API key ID. This should be our environment keys dot, and I'll just copy paste it over because these are friggin' long. Get. Let's see, what's going to be the cleanest way to organize all this? Maybe something like this. Then we'll try, we'll load the other environment key for the issuer ID, environment keys. App Store connect issuer ID.get, and that's the right spelling. It's just copied over just to be safe. Yeah, maybe like this. Yeah, so we have our archive, we have our export archive, and then we have our upload. And for upload, here's our upload command. And in the command, we have these environment variables. We're passing them in to that subshell that sh makes. We're passing in an environment where it has these so that these don't show up in our output. And then maybe we'll say done at the end. We'll say upload complete. We put an empty line just before it, and let's go ahead and see what happens. Bad spelling is what happens. Environment keys. Fail tool command not found. Oh, so do I need to say XC run in front of it? Let's see. Up arrow and enter to run it again. Failure to authenticate. I wonder if I expired this key. Well, you can see that the problem was with the authentication. Everything else was successfully passed on through. You have the issuer ID, API key ID. You didn't get any errors about syntax from the shell or any errors about anything else, really. It's just, I guess my key was expired. Man, I really wanted to show that off. Let's see what can I do. I guess I can log into App Store Connect and issue a new key for myself. Yeah, let me hide the screen and do that real quick. Hiding the screen. Going to appstoreconnect.apple.com and logging on in. A little bit of two-factor or so. Into the users tab, and there's people, and then we go to, where's keys? Does my user not have access? Well, this is this is a little bit of a letdown. I don't have a key, and I thought I had a key ready to go. Well, I hope your uploads are going great. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't have a key. Okay, so let's make a key. I can download the key. And copy the key ID and paste it into my .env. Yeah, I think I used that key on stream before or something, so I was just making sure to clear everything out. And we can copy over the newly downloaded key from the downloads folder. And then need to unhide, I think so. Close a few tabs. Okay. Cool. So I downloaded a fresh key. So let's try to upload to the App Store one more time. Hey, I got some stuff. Making a copy of the app. Oh, we got some errors, some missing plist values. Oh, I don't have an icon name. Missing icon file. Is that true? I thought I had an icon. Yeah, I have this sort of this blank icon file here. Let's see. Do I have an app icon script? If you run SPX without any commands, it shows you what's there. Let's see, SPX app icon. Oh, cool. I kind of wish that archiving the app or exporting the archive would like tell you some of these errors and just not tell you upload. That you get this error. Okay, so we made the app icon. Let's regenerate the Xcode project to make sure that the app icon is included in the Xcode project. And let's come back to our script. And let's uncomment the previous commands. We have archive, we have export archive, and we have upload. Let's clear the terminal with Command K, SPX app store. Let's give this a go. Yeah, you'll notice that, yeah, so to do multi-line on the shell, you do like a backslash, but I guess when it prints it to the terminal, it it kind of leaves those out. It puts them all in one line. Um, Medj Deal says, hi, hey, welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. So it's building the app for iOS and sticking it in our archives, sticking the archive in our artifacts folder, and it's logging to this file here, which is exactly what we see here. So assuming this works, like what kind of cleanup could we do? I guess like we have a few different things. We have like setup and we have archive is kind of one breath. Like each of these are like, yeah, setup and then do the three things and then print done. Hey, look, it uploaded. Now it's downloading something? Why is it downloading something? No errors uploading. Very nice. Very nice. We have some parties in the chat. Thank you so much. And you're a subscriber, so don't forget that we got the Siri talking to me. Oh, it's my own. Where's my emojis? Here we go. Got the full Q party. Cool, yeah. So we're just talking about how we could possibly refactor this a little bit. And let's open this up in Xcode, because then we get a little bit nicer syntax highlighting. This is kind of the archive. Here's the export archive, and here's upload. So I guess we can make maybe 3 functions out of those, I suppose, to start. If we do that though, then we gotta like, well, also we have to do the throws. We do that though, we have to pass in these things. I guess those are sort of globals at the moment, so maybe it's okay, but it still feels a little bit gross. So upload, and then we want export archive before, oops, that was a command P, and archive. I guess these will all be try. Yeah, let's move this all the way up to the top. So we'll have some constants. Guess we don't need this hello Twitch anymore. We're business mode now. And let's define these things. So for setup, I guess it's really just this part here. Load the environment from our environment.env file, and then make the 2 paths. And then we have archive. And that's a really short one, for iOS at least. And then export archive. guess that's kind of all that. And let's indent the triple quoted string. Cool. So we have some constants, and then we have setup, archive, export archive, upload, and then celebrate. um, and there you go. That's less than 100 lines script in Swift. Upload your Swift app to the App Store. With environment variables stored in a .env for easy customization. We're importing shxcrun for the sake of this export options, which is a plist, which is defining that over and over again. You definitely want to import a library for that. Yeah, the other stuff that I have inside of this library is it's just hard to maintain because there's so many options to Xcode build, and just sort of saying the options like as a string, like it doesn't feel like that dirty. Like especially if you like, I don't know, move these all the way off the screen or something, or move them into a different file, or move them into like a struct. Like what we could do to take this a step further is to use the structure way of doing things instead of the sort of imperative way. We could say struct app store script static func main throws, I believe. We would say at main on this thing. And then these things come into here. Oh, that's true, isn't it? So I guess we can make this a var. Make it be computed, which is fine. Not like like we save all that much from making this a constant. Yeah, when you do need to rename this file to say call it app store script, we can't call this .main anymore, or sorry, main.swift anymore. Then we can init ourselves. We can say app store script dot run, perhaps. We can make a run method. All that's going to do is our 3 steps. Then we can move our steps inside our structure. Command X, Command V, comment thing. And what do we get? Errors from here are not handled, so let's just add throws here. You can make these guys, make everything private, I guess. Not sure how much it matters or how much it makes it easier or harder to read. Yeah, so it could be something like this. We could declare everything static, I guess. And we don't need this run function anymore. I guess this run, what it does is gets us out of the static scope into the instance scope. Just because we make a new App Store script and then we say run on it. Or we can make everything static. I'm not sure which is more readable. or which is more fun. But that's an option there too. Um, um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Should probably publish this somewhere or something. But yeah, this is how I upload all my apps to the App Store. Maybe not exactly the script, but this same idea of doing some setup, archiving, export, archive, and upload. And then from the command line, I can just SPX App Store, and I've been doing that for years now, making small improvements along the way. Been doing this for the Subway app, for Underway, for Haptic Studio. I've been doing this too. And now for this new to-do app, you have the build script set up. Yeah, so kind of mentioned it throughout the stream. My website is fullqdeveloper.com, which has links to my open source projects, such as SPX and FQauth, and has links to my for-profit apps on the application store, and also a little bit about keyboards. Take care of your wrists out there. I'm active on my Discord, which is linked to from down here, or you can follow me on Mastodon, which is also linked to from down here. Ooh, we got an error. Oh, yes, because the bundle version must be higher than the previously uploaded version because we didn't increment the build number. So that'll be something we can take care of next time. For now, though, thank you so much for watching. It's been so much fun sharing the scripting that I do to take care of my own problems of pushing to the App Store. And I'll see you next week.